Hello friends, this is Erin Ware and I am going to do a flip through of my 2023 Hobonichi Weeks with you today. This is where I do my work, which is art making, and inevitably the table just gets like messy and gouged and all that, so please forgive me, but this is the table that I have. So this was my third year in the Hobonichi Weeks, and in the beginning of the year I intended to use it as a personal planner. I started the year with a common planner for my work planner and intended to use this one for everything personal. The way that worked out in reality is that it didn't really work out because my personal life and my work life are intertwined. Because I'm an artist, I work from home. My work, I'm also a mom, and so I don't know, it just all blends together. So as you can see, I didn't use the weeks this year as much as I have in the past, and for a while, especially during the summer, I think I fell off of using it entirely. Like I just stopped even picking it up, which for me is kind of odd. Like this is how I was using it in the past. So this was November, December of 2022, and I was decorating the page. Then I would use it for to-do lists for work and kind of just keep up with daily life stuff over here. Every week was a little bit different, but that's mostly what I did. Sometimes I would have grocery lists down here and life stuff, like work tasks and life tasks up here. And that's pretty much how I was using it all the time. And so for a few weeks before the end of the year, I kept using it like that. But then I think as the new year began, I was still struggling to figure out how to use a separate planner for work because I had been so used to doing my to-do lists in here. And so it took me a while to figure that out, but eventually I think I moved my lists over. The thing was, this wasn't really enough space to really get into the things that I needed to do for work. It was enough space to just write down the abbreviated version of the task. And so if I needed to write down any details or, I don't know, just more information about it, there wasn't room in here, hence the work planner. But the B6 Common Planner is a very large book, and so I found that I got lost in there too. And so if you don't know what I ended up doing, please go back and watch my videos. The previous like maybe two or three videos have kind of talked about what I'm doing now as far as work is concerned and how I fixed that problem. But this was a year ago, and I hadn't fixed that problem yet. I didn't even know I had a problem yet. So, so I was just trying to keep going. I was sick a lot last year at this time, like for 8 or 9 weeks I was sick. I don't know if I kept getting different things or if it was the same thing or what, but I felt bad mostly like most of winter last year. I still love how these pages look. Here's meds. I actually really love how that looks. Sick. So I think this is when I started to, you can tell, I think I was coming back in here and sticking things after the fact, and I think you can tell by looking at it that my heart wasn't in it as much. I just, I don't know, it just wasn't in here. I like this page. I feel like this might have been one of my last like good hurrahs. Like this was a good page, and then I don't know. There's still work stuff in here. This is March. Still writing work stuff down in here. Yeah. think that looks terrible. I think when you have a planner and you have so many like bad weeks in a row, I feel like I almost lost my love for the planner. These are notes after the fact. I think a lot of this was notes after the fact, like just like backlogging or whatever. Not necessarily using it, but just trying to fill it up after I missed so many days. I like how this page looks a lot. I think it's really nice, but I didn't really use it. Kind of the same thing, like I feel like I wasn't necessarily using this planner so much as I was just in a way like memory keeping, because I was writing things down just to write them down, to kind of log what I did, and not necessarily like using it as an actual planner, if that makes sense. The only things that I did keep in here that were planning related were the kids' schedule for school. Actually, in the beginning of the year, it was just my son, and then the second half of the year, my daughter started going to school too. So that was a big change. But yeah. The thing is, I love the Hobonichi Weeks so much. It's this tiny little book, but it just holds so much, and I love the way the pages look. I love everything about it. I do want to say that during these weeks here in the summer, I didn't use them at all, and so I started to use them for practicing certain things, like practicing different layouts. And I tried for a minute using it as a book, like a reading planner, because I was inspired by Bronte. I'll link her below, but I think she uses maybe a week's as a reading planner, maybe. And then this is like just like it was a blank page, and I came back to try out a tracking like layout in here, maybe inspired by Lindsay Scribbles, maybe by Untitled Paintings on YouTube, or maybe by Rhiannon, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. This has been too long ago, but I was seeing people tracking in different ways, and I was just trying out layouts. This is like a fake page because I made these for Patreon and I wanted to use them. So I decorated a page and then filled in some things. You can tell because it's all in one color, and I never use just one color, hardly. This is more like trying out a layout. So school started. Still not using this. I think this is when I was fully trying out the Common Planner, like going full on in the V6 Common Planner. I needed to give it a really good go after I had, like, this is when I started to have a real work day because both of my kids were in school. So I was working really hard at figuring out systems and what worked for me. And so I was trying out different things, trackers. And then at some point in here, you'll see that I come back to it. This might be the first, yeah. So I started tracking things and kind of going from like basically full on decor, like just decorating and very little actual planning. I went to the other side of that, which was just planning, not decorating at all. Which I just have to say that my heart is not in this. I mean, my heart is with, you know, the stickers and the pretty things. I just can't not have prettiness on my pages. It's just can't have it. So stickers came back, and this is when I'm figuring out my system that I'm still using now. And yeah, I feel like I just came back to it. Like I started to figure out how I could have the functional planning in with the decor. And I think the key is just leaving space for it. So I have to kind of, okay, so this is when I moved into the new planner. So I can just go ahead and show you that. I haven't really fully set this up yet, but I've started to use it. The months aren't really being used so much just yet. So, okay, so let's go to here. Okay, so I've got the decor and the tracker, and I'm loving it. The tracker is all about habits, and they're habits that are aspirational and habits that I already do every day, and those kind of in between. And that's the key for me. I've realized if you're bad at tracking, I'm so bad at tracking, but I've been doing this now for like over a month, and it's working. I basically just put things on my list that some of them are very easy to check off, and for some reason that's what gets me in here. Like I want to check it off, and then I look at the other things. So I forget to take vitamins all the time, every day. I'm terrible at taking vitamins, and this way I kind of see it multiple times a day. I still don't do it. I still forget, but I'm getting better, and I'm taking them more often because of this list, and I think that's why it's working for me. I think in the past I've wanted things to work overnight, and now they're working more. It's like we're just like slowly warming up to the idea of taking vitamins every day until it becomes an actual habit, like that I don't have to think about. And so that is a positive change. I'd say it's something that's really working for me. Vitamins is just an example. A lot of the things on this list are more aspirational. Some of them are just things that I'm tracking for the sake of tracking. Like for instance, emptying the dishwasher is kind of interesting to me to see how often we run it. And so, I mean, it's really not a big deal whether or not it gets checked off the list. It's just kind of more of like do we run it twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week? I don't know. I'm figuring that out. So that's what's going on in here. It is not, I do use it as like my main planner as far as keeping dates for school, for important appointments, or anything else that like we need to be at a time and a place on a certain day, whatever. That goes in here. But mostly what I'm using it for is trying to keep up with habits. And this is this week. I'm filming this on the 20th, and I'm not tracking this week. And the reason I'm not tracking this week is because my kids are about to be out of school, and I want to not stress myself out. And so I've decided to take 2 weeks off of tracking and then come back to it in January. And I think that's a good decision for me. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated, but so far that's what we've got. I am traveling next week, and yeah, it's going pretty well. I feel really good about this. So that's my Hobonichi Weeks, current and last year's. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you around. Okay, bye.